person. My name was Jamel, and I used to be a boy. Now I'm a woman, and I love myself. But back then, well, let's just say I was very confused and didn't quite know what I wanted to do with my life. Let me start at the very beginning. I was born the only brother in a big family. I had 4 older siblings, all of them girls. I didn't even get to really know my dad. He passed away when I was just 5 years old. I don't really remember much about him, so you can imagine I had lots of feminine influences in my life growing up. My sisters all had names that began with J. Yes, my parents were those kinds of people. Don't get me wrong, Mom was awesome, but I thought it was so cheesy. So we were Jasmine, Janice, Jennifer, June, and Jamel. Believe me, kids mocked us all the time in the neighborhood and at school. It was kind of silly, but Mom thought it was so cute. Like all of us had something in common. In case you are wondering, yes, my mom's name begins with a J, and so did Dad's. Judy and Jimmy. I groaned just thinking how cheesy this all sounds. Anyways, my life was a bit peculiar, if you want to know. Growing up with 4 older sisters was no walk in the park. Sure, they spoiled me rotten, but I was also basically their small doll. They put makeup on me and little dresses. They thought it was so funny, and whenever they had slumber parties, I was basically the cute little entertainment. I never had a father figure in my life or any kind of masculine influence. Everything was girly stuff. What we ate, the games we played, what my sisters talked about, it was all girl-related. I ended up being stuck doing whatever my 4 older sisters wanted me to. Since I was the youngest, I didn't really get a say. And if we ever had a vote to decide anything, you can guess that I was always outnumbered. So I just began adapting to what they liked to do in order to be able to have some fun at all. They would convince my mom to keep my hair longish so that they could comb it into pretty styles when we were at home. They would also test their makeup on me. When the older sister, Jasmine, went to beauty school, who do you think was her guinea pig? Me, of course. She would have me sit there for hours. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I kind of enjoyed it, actually. She was so delicate about it, and she talked to me and tell me all about her life. I felt she was so glamorous and cool. At school, I didn't really get along with guys my age, to be honest. They were all super into sports, and things that I didn't think were too cool. I preferred hanging out with the girls instead, and I got along so well with them. I think that most, if not all of my friends were girls. I would also give them great fashion advice, and they would ask me what to wear before going on a date. Boys always wondered why I never hung out with them, or why I didn't play football during the recess. I preferred staying behind and playing with the girls or gossiping with them. No one really seemed to mind at first, but as I grew older, things seemed to change. Boys thought I was weird, and they'd mock me about being too feminine. They didn't understand why I always wanted to be surrounded by girls. Though my sisters had always applied makeup on me while we were inside our home, I began wanting to do it when I went outside. I started to paint my nails with my sister's polish and try different colors. It was so much fun, and I thought it looked so cute on me. I began wearing blush and eyeshadow when I went to school, and eventually, even lipstick. My sisters didn't see anything wrong with it. They had always been super supportive of me and my choices. They thought that if it was what I liked, then it was perfectly fine. The first time I did it, though, it wasn't so easy, I'll admit it. I was using a pretty pink nail polish and covered my hands with mittens. I thought everyone could notice, but I don't believe anyone really did. When I got home, one of my sisters saw me take off my gloves. I hid my hands in my pockets, thinking that she would call me weird. Instead, June hugged me tightly, and she told me I never had to hide who I really was. Later that night, she told the rest of our siblings about it. They were all so supportive, and it was then that I understood that I could be open about who I was around them. This confidence grew every passing day, until I decided I was brave enough to wear makeup and nail polish outdoors. Showing off my feminine side in public felt right. It felt like I had been hiding for far too long, and now I could finally let the whole world know who I was. People stared my way, mostly guys. They asked themselves what was going on with me. Sure, I hung out with girls, that was one thing, but wearing makeup and painting my nails was so different from everything they had seen. We lived in a small town, and most guys were really manly. Everyone expected men to like football and beer, as well as get super bored when their girlfriends and wives went out shopping. But I loved shopping, and having my hair done sounded like a great plan for a lazy Sunday. So believe me when I say that a guy like me wasn't well received. I had to deal with a lot of bullying at school, and male students called me all kinds of nasty names. I won't repeat them here, but you can imagine what I'm speaking about. They told me that I was a girl and that I should begin acting like a man, that boys didn't wear makeup and we didn't paint our nails either. And if they ever discovered I was actually wearing girls' underwear underneath my pants, I'm sure they would have completely lost it. My sisters told me I didn't have to let those cruel boys get to me. If they wanted to talk, let them talk. No one could make me feel bad without my permission. It wasn't easy to ignore them, though. The jokes were so cruel and mean-spirited. They told me that because I hung out with girls so often, I was turning myself into one. They also began noticing that I never went on a date with any woman. All my female friends were just that, friends. I felt like a girl and wanted to become one. In order to be approved for the procedure, I needed to have several sessions with the shrink, and he needed to report that it was really in my best interest. My therapist explained that in order to be approved for this surgery, I had to spend a period of time actually living as a woman. That was when I began dressing as one 24/7. My sisters helped me buy pretty dresses and a wig. I felt so feminine. It was amazing. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was finally acting the way I was meant to. Plus, in the big city, people didn't seem to find me so strange. There, plenty of guys felt the way I did and dressed like women just like I did. It was such a relief to meet others that shared my questions and struggles. I wasn't romantically interested in any of them, so they began calling me other nasty names. To them, a guy who liked other men was disgusting. I didn't understand why they cared so much. It wasn't as if I was going to force them to go out with me or anything like that. Believe me, the moment I saved up enough money after high school was over, I moved to a bigger city, a place where guys like me weren't so unusual. 2 of my sisters moved with me, and we rented an apartment together. It was so cool, and we had so much fun together. While I was at college, I began seeing a therapist in order to go through a gender reassignment surgery. The surgery was really expensive, but I had the full support of all my family. Mom paid for more than half of it, and I managed to complete the rest of the cost with my savings and gifts from my sisters. You can't imagine how much I loved them all right then. I wouldn't have been able to go through with it without their support. Not only financial aid, mind you, they were there for me every step of the way, and they gave me the strength to make hard life choices. A year after the surgery, I was able to legally change my name to Jamelia. I know that my mom would have never forgiven me if I took a name that didn't begin with a J. She was more than happy for me to become a girl, but family tradition couldn't be messed with. All my closest friends were there for me as well. Though the recovery period after the surgery was very painful, everyone helped me through it. They got me my meds and even cooked for me when I felt too weak to get out of bed. I consider myself fully a woman nowadays. My hair is long and I have a very curvaceous body. I'm dating this amazing guy. My mom absolutely loves him, not only because he is a sweetheart, but because, you guessed him, his name also starts with a J. He's called Jules. It sounds so strange, doesn't it? But he's the right guy for me. When he found out that I wasn't biologically born a girl, he didn't care at all. To him, I'm a woman now, and that's all that matters. I work as a makeup artist, just like Jasmine. She's taught me so much and helped me pay my way through beauty school. Lately, I've been considering if I should start a YouTube channel doing makeup tutorials, but I'm not too sure about it. I don't want to receive nasty comments in my feed, but at the same time, I feel like I can help a lot of people who have been in my same situation. So, what do you think? I'd love to know your opinion on the matter. Maybe I'll end up doing it if you think that I should. Please tell me what I should do in the comments. I'm looking forward to your feedback. I'd also love to read if you've ever had to struggle with who you are and what society expects from you. It's not always easy opening up about our true selves, but I think it's important to always be honest and kind to one another. Do you agree? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other videos in the channel.